Let me ask you about something you said at Al Sharpton's National Action Network on April 19th. Here it is, and let's come back and talk about it.
To paraphrase a line from the Bible, you reap what you sow. And ladies and gentlemen, we are reaping what we have sown, the seeds of destruction and the seeds of malcontention that we've sown, I would argue, since 1994 with the Gingrich Revolution. Ladies and gentlemen, just take a look at Iraq, Venezuela, Katrina, what's gone down in Virginia Tech, Darfur, IMIS. Take a look. This didn't happen accidentally, all of these things. Since 1994, from the Gingrich Revolution to Karl Rove and President Bush, we have wallowed in the politics of polarization.
Explain that logic. How does Virginia Tech or Don Imus relate to the Gingrich Revolution or Karl Rove or George Bush?
Well, by the way, they're not directly responsible for any of those things. But the atmosphere, look, think of it this way. How many shock jocks do we have in 1970s and in the 1980s? What happened when we concluded that when Newt Gingrich said the way to win the House is burn the House down? When all of a sudden we went from, I served, for example, I got here and a lot of old segregationists were still here. Yet we did not engage in arguments about motive. We engaged in arguments about policy. And all of a sudden in the mid-90s it became, if you're not with us, you're not a good Christian. If you're not with us, you're not moral. If you share a view, you are unpatriotic. The whole nature of the debate changed. You had senators talking about the President of the United States on the floor calling him Bubba. And we wonder why that doesn't percolate through the entire society.
But Virginia Tech, how does that relate?
Well, what Virginia Tech is about is what the debate that came out afterwards, where you have this whole debate about, you know, if everybody had a gun, this wouldn't have happened, and so on. I mean, it didn't produce that kid. That kid was mentally deranged, and it didn't produce that. But think of all the other things, Tim. I mean, you cannot engage, a leader cannot engage, the leaders of the country cannot engage in this kind of talk and the way we characterize people and the hatefulness of it, and think it doesn't permeate society. As I said earlier, you know, the famous line of Pat Moynihan, we've defined decency down. I mean, look, well, what we've defined down is civility in this country. I mean, things that you could say today in the public square, you would have been pilloried for saying in 1975. It matters.